guys, this is the Retro Flora podcast. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Charmy, and we're just two crazy sisters with an opinion and a channel.
If you like true crime, conspiracy, and supernatural crap, then this is your channel. Today, I want to talk about mirrors.
Like the Kiefer Sutherland movie, Mirrors?
No, but that movie definitely terrified the crap out of me.
I only see the ending part. That's the only part I've ever seen.
The one scene that really creeps me out is the bathtub scene.
Oh, I saw that scene too. That creeped me out.
Yeah, I was so scared. I would like walk away from my mirrors, and then I would come and like peek over to see if my reflection was still standing there. Like,
it was so graphic.
There? Yeah, it was
traumatizing.
I
saw it as a kid.
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy scene. Good movie though.
Well, I can't talk. I haven't seen the whole thing.
I like the movie,
bits and parts,
but you know, it's that 2000s horror movie genre that's just nostalgic.
And also, spoiler, but didn't in the end he was stuck in the mirror dimension?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, not pretty much. Yes, he was stuck in the mirror dimension,
and not the Doctor Strange mirror dimension.
Either way, I wouldn't want to be stuck in either one of them. We're at the end of August. You guys. This year is almost up. Like, we're about to enter the real spooky season, and then we're gonna have the holidays.
I know. I just hate. I love the end of the year, but after Christmas, I get sad because I hate January and starting over.
Yeah, it's just a repeating cycle.
Well, without further ado, let's get into this.
The first time people saw their reflections was in pools of waters, streams, or rivers. They were the first mirrors. The earliest known mirrors date back to 8000 BC. They were made with obsidian stone. It is and if you don't know what obsidian is, it is a naturally occurring volcanic glass formed when lava is rapidly cooled with little crystal growth, aka black glass, aka dragon glass. I'm just kidding. People would polish the stone to create a reflection, aka dark reflection. The issue with these mirrors were they were really heavy, so there weren't many made. So they really were just used as small decorations for the wealthy. You know, before Jesus' time, the nice and wealthy people had like little small obsidian mirrors just like decorated around the house for the wealthy, you know. They probably weighed, if you probably got a normal sized mirror with obsidian glass or whatever stone, it would probably weigh as much as one of those clay rock statues.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's how heavy it is. In 4000 BC, ancient copper mirrors were created by the people of Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia.
I don't even know why I said Tomia. It's literally spelled Mesopotamia. Okay, well, sorry, y'all. In 3000 BC, ancient Egypt began to make copper mirrors as well. They used polished copper and would decorate the round faces of the mirrors. During the Bronze Age, which was 3300 to 1200 BC, Jesus ain't even born yet, more cultures began crafting mirrors out of bronze, silver, copper, and other metals. The bronze mirrors manufacturing emerged in China around 2000 BC. These mirrors were not the fancy mirrors we have today. Isn't it crazy that 2,000 years before Jesus even born, they were here crafting mirrors? The mirrors were pieces of bronze flattened into round discs and then polished. Their handles were made of wood, metal, or ivory. Once again, they were expensive, so the wealthy were the ones who were using them. During the reign of the Roman Empire, okay, so there are 3 periods. They divided the Roman Empire in 3 periods. I don't really know which period it is. Well, I guess I do know which period it is because we know around what time frame we're looking at. But the first period is the period of kings, which is 625 to 510 BC. Then you have the Republican Rome, which was 510 to 31 BC. And then you have Imperial Rome, which was 30 BC to 476 AD. So I'm assuming it's probably
the last one.
No, because Jesus is not alive yet still with these mirrors.
But it would still be in the Imperial Rome, wouldn't it?
Maybe it would be in Republican Rome. Like the middle of it. The middle period of Rome.
This is why I hate time.
It was back then, okay, y'all? It's really old. So during that Roman Empire reign, the silver mirrors were widely used, even by the maid servants. So they were starting to get silver became a little more popular, and they're starting to get everyone's starting to get basic mirrors, like old reflecting disc or whatever you want to call them. They're mirrors, but they're really just metal that's flattened. In 300 AD, mirrors made of glass were created by blowing a glass bubble, cutting it off, and rounding it into a small circular disc. You know what I think of when I think of that? I don't know if you ever watched like those little small TikToks or shorts where like someone is like making those like glass sculptures and they're like blowing air in it to expand the glass. That's what I'm thinking of when they talk about how they started creating glass mirrors. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance era, which is 500 AD to 1500 AD, glass mirrors became more widely used, thanks to the advancement in glass making in France, Germany, and Italy, specifically in Venice. Thus, the Venetian mirrors became the choice of the royals. So Venetian mirrors were the best high-quality clear glass mirrors of the time. They were also known as Murano. I think it's Murano. They're known as Murano glass mirrors. They were made with mercury coating.
Wait, isn't that poisonous?
Yeah. So, I think we see why these didn't really last. Because, yeah, mercury is very poisonous. Mercury poisoning is really bad. The Venetian mirror skills were introduced to them by the slaves.
Of course.
Yeah, so the slaves that were on the island of Venice. Venice is an island, right? Yes, it's an island, and it's a man-made island. And here's an interesting fact about it. I know we're not here to learn about Venice, but it's a group of 118 small islands that are separated by canals and linked by 438 bridges, which is insane.
Yeah, is it? Because, well, I know in Spider-Man Far From Home. Did they go there? I think they did. It's like basically a city on water.
Yeah, it's a floating city, y'all. It's pretty cool. And so the slaves that introduced the Venetians to this skill, they retained that knowledge from the early Roman Empire. So we're talking going back because we're like in the Renaissance ages. The Venetians kept their glass-making secrets to themselves until Louis XIV finally convinced them in the 1700s. And you guys, I had to put in parentheses the 14th because when I saw those Roman numerals, I had no idea what number that was.
I bet I could. I'm really good at Roman numerals.
Yeah, no, I don't know this. Soon, French workshops began to mass produce them, making them more affordable. During the Industrial Revolution, France's factory, the Saint-Gobain, began to produce the more modern-day mirrors. Silvered glass mirrors created by Justus von Liebig did not use mercury coating, but instead used metallic silver on one side of a clear glass panel. Today, we use aluminum instead of the silver coating. And then here's some just interesting facts about mirrors. We all know that water was used as mirrors back in ancient times, but mirrors can reflect sound as well as light. So just something to think about. That's kind of cool. There are mirrors on the moon, which is funny because it makes me think
reflective rock.
No, they're mirrors placed on the moon.
Oh, that someone put up there.
Yes.
I thought you meant that they already had it.
No. If you would have let me finish, Charmy, I was about to say that episode of The Big Bang Theory when they were reflecting light off the mirrors on the moon. This is what came to my head. And poor Penny's, what's his name?
Zach.
Poor Zach.
Very cool.
One question. How can you be sure it won't blow up?
The laser?
The moon.
Poor Zach. That's all I can say. And mirrors can reflect matter. So mirrors can reflect matter just as they do light. These mirrors are known as atomic mirrors. They use an electromagnetic field to reflect neutral atoms and are used to trap slow atoms or to focus on an atomic beam, which I thought was crazy that there are mirrors on the atomic level. And one of the last facts is that mirrors can split light. So that's kind of cool to know.
I thought you meant split people for a second.
No, well, they can. It's a super sharp mirror, which is basically kind of glass. But mirror is glass. So, yeah, that can split you.
It just reminds me of Final Destination 2 when the kid got smashed by the glass.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what it reminds me of? 13 Ghosts when the lawyer got split.
Did the lawyer split?
Yes, he did. Into two. So that's all about the history of mirrors. Let's get into like some spooky paranormal superstitions on mirrors.
Yeah, we all know about the multiverse. Yeah, like it's many different universes.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking about
Marvel?
the mirror world again.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that.
So we've all heard the superstition that it's bad luck to break a mirror, but do you know where it comes from?
England? I don't know.
It comes from the ancient Greeks and Chinese. They believe that mirrors reflect your soul, and breaking it traps your soul. And that superstition of like the mirror trapping your soul actually comes from the ancient Roman culture, where they believe that your soul regenerated every 7 years, so that's why it's 7 years of bad luck. And
Doesn't our skin also shed every 7 years?
I think so.
Oh, we renew?
Yeah, I think every cell in your body is renewed after 7 years. So that ex that you broke up with 8 years ago hasn't touched this new you. Hey. But anyway. And they also believe that that mirrors reflect your soul. So that's why the ancient Chinese believe that if you break a mirror, it's bad luck. So why do mirrors scare us?
Because they're scary. Like,
Is it because of the ghostly face appearing when you look at them in the dark? Or is it the demonic looking entity we see walking past them, or when we quickly glance at them?
I don't see that stuff.
Well, guess what? Scientists believe that is our brain playing tricks on us. It's called human visual pareidolia. That was a hard word to say. Look at that word. Pareidolia. Our brains trick itself into seeing a recognizable pattern like faces, shadows, or distorted light. You know, I don't see demons, but like sometimes in the morning, like I'll go in there and brush my teeth in the dark and I'll look at my face and it looks so distorted that I just don't even look in the mirror anymore. I just look down and brush my teeth because like I don't like looking at my reflection in the dark.
Why are you brushing your teeth in the dark?
Because girl, you know, when I brush my teeth and wash my face, I come back and lay down in my bed for 15 minutes and then I still want my eyes adjusted to the dark, okay? I don't want to be fully awake yet.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like at night, I can't use the restroom in the dark. I get scared.
I use the restroom in the dark, but I'll have like my phone light on because I want minimum light.
I feel like that just casts scary shadows.
No, girl, I just need to be able to see around me, like not be in the dark. Like I don't even look at like I told you, I don't even look at my reflection in the mirror when I wash my hands at night. Like no, in the dark, I'm not doing it. Another spooky superstition is covering mirrors. People believe when a person passes away, their soul would be released from their body and start to roam. The legend says if your soul encounters a mirror before your body is buried, your soul will be trapped inside the mirror. People have claimed to see faces of dead people in old antique mirrors.
I know you haven't seen this, but that's exactly, well, it's not exactly, but this is what happens in The Haunting of Bly Manor. Her fiance dies tragically, and ever since he died, she just sees him in reflections, and it's so creepy. I need to show you a picture, but it's so creepy. It's because he wore glasses, and so all you see, because he got hit by a car, all you see is the reflection of the car lights in his glasses. So he's like a black silhouette with just the holes of like the lights.
That's giving me shadow
Yeah,
people vibes.
The reason why it was in the mirror is because it wasn't because he was haunting her, but because it was her guilt. Like she blames herself for his death and how their like relationship ended. So it wasn't like he was haunting her; she was basically haunting herself. But it was a really good. It was a really good show. You should watch it.
Okay, I guess I'll take a look at it.
I just love anything Mike Flanagan does.
Well, he does some pretty good movies and TV shows. I'm not gonna lie. And then there is the legend about mirrors by your bed. It is said that if you have a mirror by your bed, it will take your soul.
There's a mirror by our bed.
I know, but it's not like really by our beds. Like,
It's across from our bed.
yeah. I don't know.
We got 3 different mirrors up in here
Girl,
because of
I got mirrors on mirrors.
you. Mirrors on mirrors on mirrors on mirrors.
Legends has it that evil spirits from the other side will suck you through the mirror. I'm assuming your soul. I don't think they're gonna suck your entire body, but you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. So sleep with the mirror by your bed if you want to. Many cultures around the world believe mirrors are portals to other worlds. Mirrors, like windows and glass doors, symbolize the space between one place and another. Mirrors were also used to summon spirits. In some witchcraft rituals, people use 2 mirrors facing each other to create an infinite reflection, which would allow spirits to enter into our world. No!
You know what that reminds me of? Skeleton Key?
Don't come into our world!
At the end where she was like doing the spell in the mirror.
Skeleton Key, you guys, is a very underrated movie. That movie was so good. It's so creepy. We're not going to spoil it, but highly recommend you watch it. Mirrors were also aids in some of the spiritual summoning activities. So they would use mirrors. I'm trying to think of, like, if anything in the craft, if they were using mirrors.
I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure they did it in American Horror Story Coven, though.
I know in the episode of Charm, when they were trapping what's her name back into the mirror because she was the mirror. Aviva, yeah.
Well, her ghost demon that was attacking her.
Yeah, whatever her name was. Yeah, I remember that, and they used that mirror to like. But I can't remember if they used any mirrors to summon. You know, there's so many episodes of Charms. I'm pretty sure they used the mirror in one thing. So now we're gonna talk about one of the most famous urban legends around mirrors. Bloody Mary.
Yeah, everyone knows Bloody Mary and all the 5 different movies about her.
Well, as you know, there are multiple versions of Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I always get Queen Mary and Bloody Mary mixed up.
There is a
Because
Queen
the same
Mary.
Mary.
There is a Queen Mary related to the Bloody Mary.
But that was
But that's the first Elizabeth. I don't know. I know when we talked about Queen Mary, their ship was originally supposed to be named something else, and they went with Mary. So anyway, if you really want to get into in depth on the Queen Mary, well, we do have a video on the Queen Mary. If you do want to get in depth to Bloody Mary, there's actually a TikTok on the Retroflora TikTok and Instagram page if you want to watch it. But I'll just give you some basics on Bloody Mary, and we will link the TikToks in the description box below if we remember. If not, I'm sorry, just go to our page. Okay, so like I said, there's multiple versions of Bloody Mary. Some people believe that she was Mary the First of England, Queen Mary the First of England, who burned 300 Protestants at the stake. Some believe she's Elizabeth Bathory, who was a 17th century Hungarian countess who allegedly tortured and killed over 600 women and girls in order to bathe in their blood.
And there's a movie called Stay Alive about it.
Yeah, girl.
It wasn't the best movie, but I did enjoy it.
Love it. It's like an early 2000 nostalgia movie. You have to watch it. Like, it's like the classic horror, like the classic movies back then. Like, you had to watch it. But yes, Elizabeth Bathory is a real person. Allegedly. She did it, okay, y'all? She did it, okay? Because she got in trouble for it. So they had enough evidence to convict her. She definitely was killing a lot of the poor women and girls in the town, but she started killing like other high up girls, and that's really why she was arrested and sentenced to stay in her palace for the rest of her life,
which I feel like is a stupid
punishment. But let me tell you something that she did that was so disturbing, that, like, trigger warning, because this is really disturbing what she was doing. She would torture these girls and these women, and she would starve them, and then she would cut pieces of them off, make them cook it, and make them eat it. Like, she could make this girl cut off pieces of her breast and cook it and eat it. Like, she was so demented. She's a terrible person, y'all. No wonder she was terrible in the movie too. Wish she suffered that fate. Anyway, but we're gonna talk about the popular story, which is about Mary Worth. So in the first version, Mary gets pregnant after a one-night stand, and one night she's awoken to find her baby dead in the crib. So she killed herself in front of her mirror. That was just a brief summary of what you could find on TikTok, but basically that's what that version's about. The second version is Mary was a white witch who made herbal medicines, and the villagers would send their sick kids to her, but when the children stopped returning home, the villagers searched her home and found the dead bodies of the children, so they burned her at the stake. But in some versions, she was innocent, so I don't really know, because if they found dead bodies at her house, I don't know how she's innocent, but she could have been set up. I don't know.
That just reminds me of Darkness Falls.
Oh,
the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, whose name is also Elizabeth or Mary?
I don't know. I forgot.
I don't know. I don't.
She was also accused of killing the kids, but was innocent. The kids just got lost in the woods.
Yeah. Stop sending your kids out by themselves. Take them to her. There's another video on Retroflora called The Dark Reflection Ritual. It basically talks about like how people, like, when you look into mirrors long enough, you can store negative energy in there, and you can cleanse yourself doing this ritual, and don't do the ritual. Okay, that's just all I'm gonna tell you. It's on the Retroflora podcast, but the TikTok. But don't do the ritual, y'all. It ain't worth it. I get there's some good luck that comes, but is it worth it? No. Now try me. I have some creepy mirror stories for you. And so this comes from the No Sleep Reddit thread, and it's by the Cat's News Pajamas. I wake up when I hear something knocking on glass. I glance over to the window, but the curtains obscure the view. I assume it must be a tree or something, but even still, I'm alert from the adrenaline coursing around me due to being awoken up so unexpectedly.
That was a long ass sentence.
At night.
I'm sorry.
It was. It didn't even let me finish.
Sorry, yeah. I thought it was ending, but it didn't.
Then I heard again, but I realized it wasn't from the window. It was from the mirror. First of all, if anyone is knocking to me on my mirror, I'm throwing that crap out the window. Like, no. I tense up, alarmed. I look over and see nothing but a faint reflection in the dark. Swallowing my fear, I turn away from it and cover myself with a blanket. My mind is racing, but I can't think of a plausible explanation. There are no drafts ghosts or animals to knock things over, so panic begins to set in. But I'm too scared to move. It knocks again. I realize I'll never sleep if I don't find out what's causing it. So I turn on my bedside lamp and reluctantly pad towards it.
Even if you took a whole bunch of Benadryl, you won't fall asleep.
You take too many Benadryls and you're gonna sleep forever. I see my reflection, but I look a lot more relaxed than I feel. It is completely silent in the house. A shy smile appears in my reflection, but not on my face. What? Girl, no. So I guess the reflection smiled, but she didn't. Yeah, no. I freaked out. I covered the mirror with a towel and hid under my blankets. Eventually, I managed to drift off to sleep, but it was not a restful night.
Because she took the Benadryl.
I woke up a little groggy from a bad night's sleep, but a lot calmer and more logical in the daylight. I did not know what made me so paranoid over nothing last night. Too much cheese, maybe. Really?
You would think she would say chocolate.
Cheese? I never heard that one before. I'm being silly. I take the towel off the mirror. I go into the bathroom to brush my teeth and I notice my reflection seems a bit off. I'm not sure why, but it isn't quite right. I try to ignore it and get ready and head to work. In the bathroom at work, I realize what it is. My reflection is slightly slow. It has to see what I'm doing and copies a fraction of a second later.
Is it a glitch in a simulation?
Not the glitches.
You know what's so funny? There was a glitch on Sims where when you pause it, your sim kept moving, but it moved in slow motion. Yeah, so it's like it would turn slowly and look into the camera like the player. And it was so creepy.
That's creepy.
They fixed it now.
Not that I believe that. Maybe I need my eyes tested or something. I ignore the giggling feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I do my best to avoid Maris. However, in the morning, I need to do my makeup. While concentrating on my face, I noticed something. My reflection blinked when I did not. I was straining to keep my eyes open to apply my mascara, and I saw it. It started to creep me out. Who could I tell, though? Even if I did, they wouldn't believe me. As I was alone and nobody would hear me, I peered closely and spoke to the mirror. What are you? It shrugged its shoulders nonchalantly, mouth crooked with indifference. What? I wasn't expecting an answer. How could this be possible? This is freaking me out, but I need answers. Why are you here? The reflection pointed to his mouth and made a motion I gathered to mean no. Oh, of course. How could my reflection talk? Thinking fast, I grabbed my notepad and pen and sit it in front of the mirror.
You're stupid.
My reflection writes, "To save you, dummy," looking at me with concern. Wow. I was right, because you could at least said it politely. How? They scribbled again. Don't drive to work today. Take the day off. Trust me.
I don't trust this mirror.
This seems a bit weird. Do I listen to what is probably my imagination? Though they do say trust your gut. Maybe my subconscious is trying to tell me something. Could I have some undiagnosed illness like schizophrenia? I hope not. I should Google that. Well, either I'm ill in some way or probably shouldn't go to work, or my reflection is trying to warn me. I should listen. While I had ought to go in, I'm concerned either way, so I say it's a day off. I don't like how that was just
how it was worded.
Yeah. Never mind, and whatever. I haven't had a day off in ages, so I probably deserve it.
She's very nonchalant about this.
Right, because I would be like,
freaking out.
Why do I not need to go to work today? You need to give me more information. This little vague sentence, I'm going to call off. But I want to know why.
Why did you call off? My reflection in the mirror told me so.
Girl, I ain't tell my boss nothing. You don't get to ask me why I called off. Jesus Christ, my boss just called. I thought I had been caught skeeving, but he had bad news. I guess skeeving is like ditching. When I answered, I tried to sound all groggy and ill, but then he tells me the news. There has been an incident at work. Something terrible happened. A Lowry prowled through the glass and into my ground floor office, absolutely destroying the front. My desk is at the front. If I was sat there, I would have literally died. My desk is in pieces. I can't believe this just happened. Luckily, nobody was seriously injured. I won't have work for a few days until police finish investigating and the owners can make the building inhabitable again. My reflection saved my life. As crazy as that sounds, it's true. Now she has proved her worth and I will take her more seriously and listen to any advice she gives me. I don't know how she knows this stuff, but she does. I was on my laptop in my bedroom when I caught sight of her in the mirror. She looked a bit worried, so I wanted to know what was up. She beckoned me to come closer. It must be important. She urges me even closer, like she's going to whisper something, even though I know she can't. She puts her hands up against the glass and motions for me to do the same. I don't get why she wants me to, but I trust her and do the same. Without warning, I feel myself being pulled forward, head spinning. I'm filled with a particular feeling and I fall onto the floor on my knees as if I tripped through a doorway. I'm so confused. I don't understand what's happening. I was looking at the mirror against my wall. How could I have fallen forward? Now the mirror is behind me. I turn to my reflection to see her worried frown transform into a mischievous grin. Her whole face is lit up with pride. Is this a joke? How can she touch me? I'm so weirded out by the whole situation, I decide to go downstairs and get a drink. I head to the door and pull the handle, but when I open it, it is just a vast, empty black. Not the hallway. How is this possible? This is really freaking me out. My heart rate quickens as panic begins to set in. I'm trapped. I can't get out. I turn to look at my room. It's the same, but different. Something is wrong. I look at the clock, but the numbers are all backwards. Everything is wrong way around. I look at my sketchbook and see the backwards writing on the page. Horrified, I turn to the mirror and see her mocking me with a pretend sad face before glaring at me and waving sarcastically. She did this to me. She pulled me into some kind of reversed world trapped in mirrors. I bang on the mirror and scream at her to come back, but she doesn't hear me. She doesn't care. She turns away. I know she appeared in reflections in other rooms, so I must be able to travel through mirrors, but I don't know how. I sit down in despair and begin to cry. How can I ever get out? There's no way she'll come close enough for me to pull her in. Why would she voluntarily swap me back? She has stolen my life. I don't know who can help me. Luckily, I have my laptop, though it is very difficult as the letters are the wrong way around. I'm hoping if I post my story, I might get some advice on how to get out here. Please help. I do not want to be trapped forever.
Wait, typing this from the other side and you're able to post it?
Girl, this is a creepypasta. Like, it's a scary story. Like, it's
Because it
supposed
also
to be
should be
creepy.
backwards on the Reddit.
No, she's typing forward, but it's difficult for her because everything's backwards.
I still want to know how it is posted to our world and not Mirror World Reddit.
Anyway, what do you think about the story?
Main character was stupid.
This main character wasn't stupid, but naive. That's what I got from this.
I mean, I still wouldn't have trusted her.
Yeah, no, I would definitely not have gotten closer. There's no reason for us to get close. You can give me the lottery numbers. That would be great. We could live in luxury, but you're not coming into this world.
Yeah.
And this story doesn't have a title, but it's by Banana Bandanas. As for urban legends, I read one years ago that has always disturbed me since. For some people, a small smirking face appears in the top corner of a mirror when you're about to die. Oh.
Oh. That's like I said, oh.
That's concerning. I'm still a bit freaked out, not too sure why. As far as personal experiences go, I have one, but it's not very verifiable, nor is it super interesting. When I was 9, I found a book of magic / Wiccan rituals that was given to my mom as a joke at some point. You guys, don't do this as a joke. I was bored and decided to try it out. And don't decide to try things out when you're bored either. I mean, there's some things you could try out, but summoning stuff, don't try that out when you're bored.
That's where all the Ouija board movies come from.
No, for real.
Because I was bored.
I think you were supposed to stand in front of a mirror in a dark room, light 9 candles, and say some phrase over and over again. I can't quite remember what the desired outcome was. After this, however, kicked off in the house. Not only nightmares for me, but actual disturbances in my room with things being knocked over, tapping on my door when no one is around, and a few creepy apparitions even. I'm really glad I moved out. You guys!
So the next person who moves in has to deal with that mess?
Girl, I think that's gonna follow you.
Oh my god. So what did we learn?
Oh crap, there's some more. So somebody said, holy shit, does that stuff still happen to you now, or did it stay at the house when you left? And they said some things have happened. I think I'm able to sense when these things slightly. I think it has to do with the mirror ritual. Yeah, girl, I'm thinking it has to do with the mirror ritual too. So I'm assuming these things. Oh, sorry, I guess I can finish reading. I don't know if it stayed at the house when we left. I haven't spoken to the owners. I moved around a lot afterwards, but in one house I stayed in, it got pretty eerie too, with a lot of similar things happening. I moved away shortly after I felt I didn't have the energy to deal with it. Since then, I've been fine, still dealing with minor stuff, but nothing as bad as the first flat.
She said, I didn't have the energy to deal with it. That's such like...
Girl, that thing followed you. I don't think it stayed in that apartment. I think it's following you. I think it got less and less intense, but...
Like less and less powerful?
Yeah, because you were over here house hopping, but he was definitely following you. He's like, no, why you call me if you didn't want me to stay? Like, girl, sir, you gotta go. Okay, so this comes from the paranormal Reddit thread, and it's by Shaniqua Don't Live Her.
The way it's spelled, though.
The way it is spelled, though. It's called Haunted Mare and Rental House. Good thing it's a rental house, girl. This happened 6 months ago in a house I moved into with a roommate. She had lived there a year prior, and once I moved in, we started rearranging the living room. I need to know that there were old bedroom sets in the basement from original owners of the house, bed frames, dressers, and mirrors. Back to the living room. There was a mirror on the wall opposite of the fireplace with the mirror above the mantle. The mirror opposite of the fireplace came from the basement and was hung up by the girl that lived there before I moved in. So I take the mirror off the wall as we are putting our TV in that spot and prop it up against the wall perpendicular to the wall it was hung until we could figure out what to do with it. Where to put it, sorry. This is when I started to notice weird things happening and hadn't quite realized the mirror could be the issue.
Because you moved the
I'm
mirror.
about to say, is it because you moved the mirror? She's really like, that is
Don't
my
touch
spot,
me.
right? No, for real. There's a cot in the basement that was set up apparently by the owners of the house if he were ever to come to town. Weird in my opinion, but whatever. Girl, same. That is weird. Like, I'm sorry, you're not staying here with us. Like, it's a bunch of girls and the dude coming home. Well, the lights above the cot randomly stopped working, and that corner of the basement just started to have a eerie vibe. I tell my roommate this, and we go down to investigate. What we found scared the out of us. Bare footprints on the cot, seemingly pacing back and forth side to side. No one in their right mind would walk barefoot down there, as it is dirty and there have been rats. Ew. We measured our feet next to the prints. And while roughly the same length, they were way too wide to be either of ours. A couple of days later, I'm down in the basement doing laundry. Girl, if I'm doing laundry in the basement, I'm about to invite 20 people over because we're not doing this. I make my dog come down there with me because it's so creepy.
The dog will start barking.
I need more than a dog. Unless the dog has Jedi senses and has a lightsaber, I need somebody else down there.
Jedi dog.
He wouldn't stop staring at the corner containing the cot, and I felt as I was being watched. Nope, leaving. A moment later, the house lights above the washer and dryer started flickering, so I got the hell out of there. Girl, I would have been got the hell out of there. The same day, later in the afternoon, I'm standing in the living room on the phone with my brother talking about work with my back to the mirror propped up against the wall. My dog starts growling and aggressively barking. My initial thought was both mine and my roommate's dogs were behind me fighting over a toy, so I snapped at them to stop, and when I turned around, it was just my dog staring into the mirror, but not looking at his reflection. He's 5 years old and has seen his reflection 1,000 times, and it doesn't concern him. So that freaked me out, and that's when I started to connect the dots. I had a betta fish in a tank on one side of the mirror, and my roommate had a cool palm tree-like plant on the other side. My fish suddenly died. Dang.
This is some Oculus.
Right. And the plant wasn't doing well no matter her efforts. I have to note that I've been telling my roommate the mirror seemed warped. I looked horrible and fat when I saw myself walking into the room.
There's a clown mirror.
She apparently had noticed this. That it's warped or that you look fat when you walk into the room. So I bring up the mirror theory to her, and she immediately grabs the mirror and puts it in our detachable garage on the backyard.
In the backyard.
Well, I'm sorry, it says in the backyard, but I guess in the backyard. We both felt better about this till the next day. Oh, great.
It really didn't like you touching it the first time.
I'm sure it's really mad now. I went out back to smoke a cigarette or some weed, and it was raining.
Either way, I don't think it's good.
It was raining and she went outside to smoke. Oh, okay.
See?
And it was raining. So I opened the garage door for some shelter. A fluorescent bulb was on the floor in the middle of the garage as though it had fallen. But it was not on a place that I would have seemingly landed and completely unbroken. It was like someone laid it there. I looked up to see the mirror facing me and got the out of there. I explained this to my roommate and we immediately grabbed the mirror to walk it across the street to Goodwill. Super convenient in this moment. She was holding it by the wire it hung on for years, And the moment we reached the edge of the property, the wire snapped and the mirror fell to the ground without breaking.
You're still going. You're still going to Goodwill.
Good thing it didn't break, because otherwise you have 7 years of bad luck.
Girl, we got bad luck.
This thing didn't want to leave. Yeah, I could tell.
Well, just leave it at Goodwill.
I'm gonna kick it at Goodwill. I'm gonna
I don't
drag
care.
it by my car at
I
Goodwill.
don't care how loud you scream and cry. You're going to Goodwill.
Right. We get it across the street and leave it. The next day, the lights in the basement started working and we had no other weird experiences. I'm sorry if my writing is terrible. It was just so many creepy indicators in such a small amount of time. It was hard to put it all together. I'm including pictures in the comments of the mirror, footprints, and the fluorescent bulb that fell. Let me know if you guys have any questions and/or theories on this one. I've never had any experience like that.
It's called Oculus. Watch the movie Oculus.
That is just a normal looking mirror.
Yeah, when she said that she picked it up, I was expecting the Oculus mirror.
Me too. But then again, girl, I don't know if you picked that up by the thing. And here's pictures of the cot. The cot does look weird.
You know, it looks like it's too low to the ground, right?
It does. I would not want to sleep in that cot. So yeah,
What I learned from this is don't touch mirrors.
what I learned for this is that if mirrors come with the house, get rid of them. Just get rid of them. I don't care how cute. I don't care if it's one of those expensive $3,000. Well, you know what? If it's $3,000, I'm selling on eBay. But
Yeah, if you
it's still leaving.
If you refurbish it,
Right? You can take it, but I'm not keeping it.
Also, Goodwill is a good dumping ground for haunted mirrors, so don't get a mirror from Goodwill either.
Yeah, don't buy no mirrors from Goodwill.
They might be haunted.
So this one comes from No Sleep Reddit, and it's been deleted, but the story's still up there. But the user just says deleted. And it's called The Reflection in the Mirror Isn't Me Anymore. I don't know why I'm writing this, but I need to get it out while I still can. If you're reading this, please don't ignore it. Please, for the love of everything, do not brush it off as a joke.
But you deleted it. You deleted your name off of it. Why
But
would
what-
you do that? Delete?
But what if she didn't delete it? What if whatever
The
it
mirror
is deleted?
The mirror got on the website.
Smart mirror.
That would be the next thing. Smartphone, smart mirror.
Smart mirrors.
Smart fan.
It started 3 nights ago, though I guess it's been building up for pretty much longer. But 3 nights ago was when I first noticed something was wrong with my reflection. I was brushing my teeth before bed, the usual routine, when I glanced up and noticed that I hadn't raised my toothbrush to my mouth yet. I know that sounds stupid, but let me explain. I was mid-motion bringing the toothbrush up, but in the mirror, my hand wasn't moving. It was just there, frozen, with the brush inches from my mouth. I blinked and the reflection caught up. I laughed it off, blaming my tired eyes, and went to bed. No big deal.
Girl, you better.
Quarter priest.
Yeah.
Quarter priest.
A second, I thought you were going to say that she took the toothbrush and shoved it in her eye or something.
Girl. Call the Lord. Call the Lord.
This is more than a glitch in the system.
The second night, though, things got weirder. I was getting ready for bed again, and as I stared into the mirror, something about my reflection just seemed off. It wasn't immediate this time. It was more like a subtle wrongness that crept in slowly. My eyes didn't look away from my eyes. They were too intense, too focused, like they were studying me. When I smiled at myself, the reflection smile lagged for just a fraction of a second, but it was enough to make me uneasy.
Get a new mirror. You just need a new mirror.
It was like looking at a video call with a bad connection, just a slight delay, but it felt wrong. Last night, I realized I was dealing with something far beyond my understanding. I was washing my face, trying to ignore the creepy dread that had been building up all day. I splashed water on my face, looked up, and froze. My reflection didn't move. It just stared back at me, dripping wet with a look of pure malice in its eyes. Not fear, not confusion, malice, like it wanted to hurt me. I don't know how long I stood there, but eventually I forced myself to move, to step back from the mirror. As I did, my reflection slowly tilted its head to one side, studying me like some kind of prey. Then, in a voice that wasn't mine, it whispered, "You're not safe." And after that, I went to Ed and Lorraine's house and got them. I'm just kidding.
Ed and Lorraine, are you still alive at this
No,
time?
they think they're dead.
And Lorraine are like, we're too old for this shit. You
Right.
dealing with it yourself.
Call Zach Baggins. I bolted out of the bathroom, slammed the door, and haven't been back since. But tonight, I had no choice. Girl, we always have choices, and the choices is I'm moving out. I had to face it. I thought maybe I was just losing my mind, that all this was some kind of stress-induced hallucinations. I forced myself to go back into the bathroom. I had to know.
So instead of going to a facility that will help you, you decided to go back into the haunted bathroom.
The bathroom was quiet, too quiet. I inched towards the mirror, keeping my eyes on my reflection the whole time. Y'all, do not inch towards these mirrors, okay?
Mirrors.
At first, it looked normal, just me staring back at myself, pale and terrified. But then it happened. My reflection grinned, this wide, unnatural grin that stretched too far, showing too many teeth. And then it spoke again, but this time, it wasn't a whisper. It was my voice, twisted, distorted. It said, "I'm coming for you."
When you said it, mouth, like her smile twisted, I thought I was thinking about the Grinch.
But scarier.
Yeah. The way his like smile kept going, and then little swirls. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, that is creepy.
I stumbled back, tripping over the rug as I fell. I saw my reflection step out of the mirror. Girl, push that reflection back in. You ain't.
Man, you could have been.
I would have pushed.
In a straight jacket.
I literally would have been pushed.
A mental facility. No, you gotta go back in that
I
room.
literally would have pushed that person's leg right back.
Like, this ain't the ring. Get your butt back in.
You got me all the way messed up. I'm pushing you in there. I'm breaking this mirror. It's done. Like, we're not doing this. It wasn't me anymore. It was this grotesque, warped version of myself with 2 long limbs and the horrifying grin that still plastered on its face. It's the top. What are they called? The
What?
from the Appalachian Mountains. What are they called? The stretched people.
I'm gonna say pale ones.
Well, they're stretched. I ran out of the bathroom, slamming the door behind me. But I can hear it, and it's not just in the bathroom anymore. I hear its footsteps. I hear it dragging those long limbs across the floor, inching closer. It's in the house now, somewhere, and I know it's coming for me.
You didn't leave?
I know. Where did you go?
Jump out the window at least.
Girl, I definitely would have jumped out the window. Girl, I just glanced at a comment and it says you should start writing and leap out the window.
That's funny.
I'm hiding in my room, but I don't know how long I have. Not very long, girl. There's only so many rooms in this place. I can feel it getting closer. The air is thick with its presence, like a cold hand squeezing the life out of me. If you're reading this, please, please, please believe me. Don't look into your mirror. Don't trust them. Because once they start acting strange, it's already too late. And if you ever hear your reflection speak, run. Don't stop. Don't look back. Just run. Because it isn't you anymore. It's never you. I can hear it outside my door now. It's scratching at the wood, whispering my name. It's going to get in. I don't know what it wants, but I know I won't survive it. Please, if you see something wrong in the mirror, get out. Destroy it if you can. But whatever you do, don't let it out. I'm sorry. It's opening the door now. Well, now we
You
see
didn't
why.
lock the door?
Now we see why it's deleted.
So he could have done a better job at deleting this.
These comments, it says, "Mate, are you there?" Like, other person, you still there? Like, I don't think they're still there.
No, delete is there now.
Right. Yeah, so like I said, me and Reflection Me would have squared up right then and there in the bathroom because one of us is leaving in a body bag and the other one in cuffs. And
She said don't let it out, but she didn't really do anything to let it out. It just got out by
I know.
itself.
Well, she didn't do anything to stop it either.
Yeah,
so.
but yeah. But still, like, she just walked up and he's like, hello, and then just started walking out.
Well, he did warn her, like, you're not safe. Like,
Thanks.
thanks. Breaking all mirrors now.
I'm telling you, if she was in a mental facility, this would not be happening.
Probably, I don't know. Do they have to? I don't know what it's like in a mental facility. Is there
Being
just
that-
no mirrors ever? Like,
Being that, what's that called, that comfy room that girl was in Final Destination 2?
yeah, but like you have to shower and like I just think of like stuff being reflective and then you seeing your reflection. Like even in like the glass window, we might see your reflection.
She ain't getting no windows.
Oh.
She can't wash either. She just stays in there forever.
Ew, gross.
It's either that or death.
And that's Maris.
Mirrors, 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 mirrors.
So yeah, mirrors are creepy, you guys.
Oh, we should have talked about Sugar Boy and the mirrors.
Oh yeah. Candyman. We're saying
Sugar
his name.
Boy.
We're saying his name once. We're not gonna repeat it, but
You say his name 5 times in the mirror, he comes out and kills you.
right. And like, okay, the movie Candyman, sorry, this is my
Which
last time
one?
saying it. The new one that came out, it really creeps the crap out of me. Like I was scared of that movie.
Yeah, it was. It was
And-
really real well executed and
Ooh, yeah, I thought
the
it was
camera
really good.
work was so good.
Ew, and him being covered in honeycombs.
Oh yeah.
Charmy couldn't even look at
Yeah,
that
I
part. I had to
cannot.
watch it and tell her
Ugh.
like, don't look. Okay, you
Ugh.
can look. Yeah, it was a good movie though. Don't say his name
5 times.
5 times. I can't say his name 3 more times. And
That's why I say Sugar Boy.
yeah, and so Sweet Boy, Sugar Boy. That's a good movie. The original one was cool, but the original one wasn't really. It had paranormal, like, ambiance, but in reality, it wasn't. It didn't end in a paranormal way like this one, the newer one did. But
You know what's so funny in the first one though? There's a scene where he busts through the window and he like jumps back out, and you can see the wire that pulls him.
oh no,
Yeah, if you look in the background, you can see it. It's like, oh, that's funny.
Well, you've made it to the end.
You must like the sounds of our high-pitched voices and quirky commentary.
You might as well like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they will be linked in the description box below.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Have a great week.
Sugar boy.
And the rest of this month.